Okay, welcome everybody to the session Becoming a UX Designer by Harish Binam, myself. And unfortunately, due to the health condition, my counterpart, Flo Davis, could not attend today. So I'll be extending the UX designer topic to the few more slides and much more information. And from there, we will go. That being said, without any further ado, let's get started. Little bit about myself. I have been born and brought up in India, and I came for my master's degree in the United States, and I did my master's in mechanical engineering. From there, I moved to software engineering because I was desperate to be able to find an opportunity. And for mechanical engineering, it has to be a green card or US citizen. So then I switched to software and started becoming a software engineer. And it was a very challenging journey that I had because I had to start over again. 7 years of my engineering education had to go back to number one right from zero. So I know the challenge of how it is to start with a new career, new um, um, completely new way of thinking, new strategies. So, and also during that time, I also had an eye challenge, which is macular degeneration like challenge. So that puts me into a low vision person. So trying to find an opportunity and having low vision and also being international was much more challenging in my career. But again, for every challenge, there is a good outcome. So when we accept the challenge and move forward, we always have some things that we are learning and we are able to progress. So please let me know if my audio is enough is audible, or if it is having any issue. Please let me know. So as I said, my from University of Missouri Rolla, I did my master's, and my thesis was published in this reputed journal called Structural and Multidisciplinary Optimization, and that was very satisfying having my thesis work being published. And as I said, I became a software engineer and then became a software architect and also became a designer and UX architect. So right now, I currently have this organization that I have founded, and I'm currently the CEO and founder for Solutions User Interface and User Experience. So where we design immersive and intuitive user experiences for our clients. So these are my LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook handles. And I'm also as interested and have been setting up a charity slash nonprofit organization called accessineed.org. So it's in the early stages, and gathering board members and volunteers who are ready to volunteer for such a accessineed.org, where we will be publishing some of the innovations and technologies, and also we will solicit some of the donations, and all of the donations that come in goes to help people with disabilities. So I had to be a disabled person to understand the challenges of a disabled community. So there are 1.3 billion people. So that's where this charity is going to try to help fund other charities that help disabled people. So that's a nutshell. In my experience, I've had various domain experiences: healthcare, hospitality, auditing, investment banking, mortgage default, credit union, software consulting. All of these companies I have had an opportunity to work with. And it's been an amazing 16 plus years of my career in big Fortune 500 companies, mid-sized companies, and small-sized companies. I've worked in all of them, and I've worked in different front-end technologies and different UX teams. So professional UX designer. to become a professional UX designer, this is a very introductory session. It's not intended to go into much details into the UX and the deeper meaning of the UX. Later in future slide, I will have a slide that will give a URL that will give a 15 minutes deep dive into UX. So that being said, um, let's just understand this course is going to be like a strategy, a game plan, an opportunity to understand what's involved and what it is. Because when you have somebody who can show you the map and who can show you the shortest route, you can now plan your journey according to that, rather than going in different directions that you are not familiar with, and you are wasting your time and energy and money and everything, right? You probably need somebody, a coach or somebody who could guide you, who have been there, done that, and who have experience in that particular field. So it could be front-end technologies, UI, or it could be UX, anything would be fine. So that being said, so who can become a professional user experience designer? There could be different categories: fresh graduates who now have a bachelor's degree or something, or even a high school degree, but I prefer bachelor's degree, so they get a little bit more structured. But yeah, there's nothing wrong if a high school graduate can also do UX, as long as they understand the basic concepts and they are able to apply their knowledge and have imaginative skills. They could easily become a UX designer. So fresh graduates, and then the career opportunity seeker, that is a job seeker who has experience in other fields but not in this field. And also it could be a graphics designer who can become a UX designer, because completely it's UX designer is completely different. Yes, graphics design is part of it, but not completely UX. So any of these profiles can are good candidates for UX designer. So software industry in general is corporations, right? Mostly profit corporations and non-profit corporations and charities and those kind of things. And in corporations, there are large companies, large enterprises, medium enterprises, and small companies. And then there is software companies also. All of this and along with in the corporations, you can also consider both profit and non-profit and charities. So software is used almost in every company that you can think of, because even as soon as you have a Mac or a compute PC, you are now using software on it uh, because of operating system is a software, right? And Word, PowerPoint, anything is a software. So it is used, and wherever software is used, that's where user experience can be applied to. And user experience is not just for software; it could also be for hardware and electronics, and even civil engineering. Whenever you are designing the ramps towards a building, and the entrance and where the restrooms are, everything uh, could also be termed as user experience if it is designed carefully and elegantly, and at the same time makes easy user's journey easy. That is so. So what in technical terms, what user experience is? So user experience is all the all the moments that a user goes through while using a product or a service. It could be, those moments could be awesome moments, and those could be awful moments. All of these moments and the feelings and the memories those moments create is user experience. So whenever a person is using an iPod or a bike or a Mercedes, what the user is feeling and how the user is experiencing the product, and the memories those moments are creating, the good memories or any kind of memories, that is technically what is user experience. And it is an art and a science and an engineering and a design and a philosophy. And there's so many neurology, and there's so many factors for user experience to be completely designed in such a way. So do not think that user experience is just for software or just for hardware. It's for almost everything you see from today on. If you just observe a little bit how it has been designed, your coffee machine, how it's been designed, and how usable it is, how ease of use it is, your iRobo, or how nicely they have designed it, and how it is taking care of vacuuming your floors and learning and memorizing your flow, right? So that is also part of user experience. And how many buttons it has? Only one big button, and that's it. So that's, they have made sure the user experience is top notch. Same thing with iPhones or iPads or any devices. So I'd like you to note down this bit.ly/30 ETY 30. Here I go into much more deeper dive. I've saved that because it's already recorded, and same exact material. I didn't want to repeat it. I want to give something that is actionable for you. So please note down bit.ly/30 ETY 30, and go there, and you will be able to uh, see a 15-minute deep dive video on user experience. So a lot of people say you just have to work hard, and some people say you have to work smart. But for me, what have worked was both working hard and smart was required for me to be able to climb up the corporate ladder. Uh, just hard work was not cutting it, because I needed to be a little bit outstanding compared to the other crowd to be selected in the interviews, to be able to uh, make sure that the employer finds my resume and my portfolio attractive enough. So, but it can be done. It's not difficult to do both hard and smart work. And you might have heard Steve Jobs saying, right? It doesn't make sense to hire smart people and tell them what to do. Uh, he says that we hire smart people so that they can tell us what to do. And that's exactly where UX designers are kind of think tanks and design thinking. And you will be working with some of the key stakeholders and corporate C-level executives, or it could be vice presidents of business units if you are working in a big enterprise. So your role is very key for some of these key level initiatives that you are working on as a UX designer, right? So how to do both hard and smart work, right? And this is what I could easily uh, summarize it to. So there is something called memory. We all have memory, and we all have imagination. So when we have this memory is like how you have memory on your devices, right? So we all have our physical memory, where we store all our memories, our good memories, our challenging memories, um, our good days, normal days, or anything, and whatever we have learned, the skills, everything is part of this memory, right? And by definition, I mean, anything in the memory is in past. So and imagination is more about futuristic thinking and envisioning things could be in a different way rather than the current way. In the role of a UX designer, you would be exercising um, much of the imaginative thinking. So this could be mostly like 60-70%, and memory would be 30-40%. So which is fine, as long as, and you will start enjoying becoming a software designer and software UX, uh, because in this imagination, nobody has chartered over there, right? And you are bringing that imagination into a paper or a design, and you are saying, how about this, how about that, how about, and the moment you start giving them the options, you are imagining the future state of the application or the software or any kind of a product. So if you are, if you think you are not imaginative, I would say that you are wrong, because the moment I can ask you to close your eyes and imagine what a good day sounds to you tomorrow, you will be able to imagine what a good day sounds to you, and that's it. As long as you have that part working, then you are imaginative. And same thing goes with, so imagining the application, what would be a great user experience. That's all you got to think out of the box. And this is, so why people say is out of the box is, this is one box of memory, which is probably in the past, and recollection of the knowledge, information, skill set, and then imagination, dreaming, visioning, and envisioning, and strategy, and uh, planning, and thinking through. All of that, right? Design thinking, they are all part of this imagination. So you are already out of the box thinking into the other box of imagination. And this is actually, there is no box around it, but just for me, I just put a box here. So imagination is completely circling. So whatever skills and knowledge you will learn, it will be in your memory, and then you can start exercising that side of a brain, which will let you become imaginative and come up with some options and more options for your user experience design. So memory is in the past, and imagination could be in the future. Most of the imagination could be in the future, right? And then, so so to get things into your memory, to get accomplishing, this is where the hard work goes in. So so whenever you are understanding something, you are learning something, you are having muscle memory, you are having regular memory, you are trying to memorize some of the things in terms of repetition, in terms of um, practicing more and more. Those, it's hard work, right? It just enhances the memory. So then you come to the smart work, which is again, this this one, everybody can be doing the hard work. Most of the people are capable of doing hard work, but some people, if they are not guided like how you have been guided, and who did not exercise some of the imaginative side of their brain, will always think, I'm not creative, I'm not imaginative. But the short answer is, everybody is creative, everybody is imaginative. They just have to tap into their potential, their brain, and start imagining what the future could look like for a product, what the future could look like for themselves, and start applying. And whatever work you are doing over here can be termed as smart work, because it's strategy, it's learning, it's thinking completely out of the box. So repetitive learning, memory works through repetition. When you repeat a fact, you will hold it onto the memory, right? So I would like you to just think about that, right? One, any skill that you have developed in the past, for example, a music instrument, or learning mathematics, learning this or that, you just repeated it. Even learning alphabets, you had to repeat A, B, C, D for so many times. And then it was so much needed to be able to repeat, so that it goes into the permanent memory. So once it goes into the permanent memory, you can recall it anytime. And that's where most of the hard work lies, right? That's where memory and knowledge. And see what Mr. Albert Einstein says, right? Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited, imagination encircles the world. So In the previous diagram, what I was showing here, imagination is completely encircling the memory and the whole world. So even I cannot box this. So what Albert Einstein says that once you have imagination, that's it. You don't need to worry about anything else, and that's where the smart work is, right? So, and imagination is almost like unlimited. You can imagine as many things as many uh, paths, as many plans as you possibly want. So, 9 steps to unbeatable game plan, right? For becoming a software UX designer. Here are these 9 steps, and these are proven. I've used it in my in my life, and there are a couple of people on the call who also used it. So who have gone through this. So later I'll let them speak through that as well. So 9 steps to the unbeatable game plan, right? And it is possible to have a fast track to these 9 steps, right? And now you're reaching your goal. And how you fast track depends on you, how much effort and how much commitment you are ready to put in, right? Because the only reason why I put all of this is after seeing all of this map and after understanding what is the shortest route, I wanted to help others to not go to all of these areas where it doesn't result anything. And here is the target, and here they are standing. So I want to guide you to go from directly from A to B within the shortest route, rather than wasting your time and circles, time, energy, money, and other places. So this is the goal of trying to give these 9 steps, right? So the ninth step is I want you to imagine you being a successful UX designer working for a company and you are satisfied with your work, and it is also helping you feel fulfilled in your job satisfaction. When the job satisfaction is fulfilled, then you would be in such a place that you would be unstoppable, and people would love to, they will follow you in internally in the office, they'll follow you in whatever you post, everything, right? So imagine you are already a successful UX designer and a senior designer or a lead designer or even to a UX architect. So when you became, so you have already become that. So let's now start from the step 1. That was the step 9. So where is the step 1? Step 1 is getting all the knowledge, all the skill set, all the memory up and running, right? And taking courses like this or anything else online, um, and then going through that process. And then the second one is practice. We all have heard about practice makes man perfect. I think practice and working with a couple of people, even if you have one other buddy, you work as a team, that is very much valuable than just working as an individual. So if you do 1 or 2 projects by yourself, that's fine. The third project, try to have a buddy who can work with you and who is also interested in getting getting the knowledge and skill sets completely honed down. So that's practice and projects and working in a team is the skill set. And then teamwork. Yep. Then once you have all this, right, the knowledge, skill set, practice, projects, portfolio, everything, so you want to have a web portfolio and a resume that is ready for distribution to a lot of potential employers. And then you want to be able to aggressively network, being on LinkedIn, social media, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, wherever. And then get connected with a lot of recruiting companies, especially staffing companies. They do get a lot of requirements, and nowadays, especially with COVID, there is a lot of what you call opportunity to work remotely. So once you can start working remotely, you can still do the work and at the same time get the experience. So until COVID is done, people are letting many people work remotely. Then that's aggressive networking, and then planning and solid strategy. You will have a game plan with the companies you are targeting, and most of the time um your game plan will work for many companies. For example, your game plan is catered towards excuse me, medium and large companies. So but that might not work for small companies. So that's where you would have to have a different portfolio that will entice them towards your capabilities that you want them to see. And then the preparation before the interview, right? So you will talk to people in that company, if you have anybody who has recommended you in that company, or you will be able to find out a little bit more what they are trying to do, what's their challenge is. And in this preparation, the moment you start giving them the ideas, and in the interview I would like you to do that. So give some ideas that you have specifically thought through your imagination of their current state and their future, where they are trying to head. So once you start giving a couple of ideas, it would automatically ring the bells. So um, I've always given one or two ideas in my interviews, and then that gets the interviewer thinking, wow, he has already done some of the homework. It's not just the homework, it's just putting like yourself as an employee. You're almost thinking like an employee and then giving them the idea. So there is quite a good chances that they like your profile, their resume, and they like your ideas that you have shared in the interview, and they could also offer the problem. So and all of that was your interview preparation, and then you have to execute in the interview, right? It doesn't matter how much you prepare, you have to execute in that highest level of confidence and highest level of can do, and I am the right person. Everything they should be able to figure out that this person is just awesome. We cannot let this person miss. And even if their salary is not high, they will try to see whatever they can do to meet your requirements, to make sure that you are joining them. And that's when you landed in that opportunity. Everything worked out, your salary expectations have been met, and you are excited, they are excited. So now your journey is in successful career. And same thing, so this blueprint, right? This is not just for UX designer. So if you're also wanting to become a UI developer, this is exactly the same thing. You will earn the skill set, you will learn the skill set, and you will start practicing and with a team as a practice projects, or there are so many volunteering projects that are available. If you need a volunteering project, I can give you one. So that's, you just have to email me, hbram at solutions ui ux that you see at the bottom. I have volunteer projects if you're ready to do that. So that being said, this can this 9 steps strategy can be applied for any kind of profession that you would like to do. Most of the things, except just what you are learning, the course part, everything else remains the same. So the first one, the course part, right? So you can take UX designer courses that are available online, or we have a 16-hour accelerated course that um, there are a couple of people who have attended that, are attending this session, who have taken this course and have learned a lot of information, wisdom, knowledge, and learnings. Because this, I'm not a professional course creator, but I'm a professional in user experience and UI technologies. I have been UI UX architect for 16 years total experience. So I bring enterprise and small medium businesses experience to the table, um, not just teaching the concepts, but also how it needs to be applied in the real world, because that's what you will see missing when you take courses outside. They are course creators, and they will definitely teach a great course, but the application and the actions that you can take and what you can implement in a practical day-to-day purpose so that you can get confidence is going to be missing, and this is what our course offers. And then we will offer with you can buddy up, and if you are taking a course, we can take you as an intern depending on your commitment and your level of availability. We will pair you up with a couple of UX designers that we have, and then we will be able to give you some teamwork and project works that is there. So that you can practice, and it's always about the team. So let's say you are a junior designer and your team has presented some ideas to the project on the product team, and the product team says, wow, this is amazing, good ideas. And even though there are good ideas, so people are not very quick to give the credit back to the originator of that idea. So don't let that take you apart. So this has happened to many people in many industries. Many times people who create the original idea don't get the credit. Let the team get the credit and let it go, because as long as the team understand your value and what you bring to the table is definitely appreciated, even though even if it is not recognized in front of everybody. Know that they all of them are individuals, all of them know who has created what. So this is where I say always teamwork best, and as soon as you get the credit, let's say you just give the credit to the rest of your team, even though rest of the team did not contribute as much as you did, but that's is going to be a sure shot way of you being sharing your credit, and having humility and being humble in your work is going to be very rewarding in your future for sure. So keep on doing the teamwork and practice, and then it's just going to get more and more interesting, more and more challenging, more and more uh, rewarding. So and it's a fun field. It's absolutely amazing field, and at the same time it's a field where a lot of people will throw straws at you. So you shouldn't be afraid to become a straw man. And the moment you get, oh, they didn't like this, or I don't like this from as a client, I say, oh, I don't like this. And as soon as you hear that, don't let some of your thought process go negative, that, oh, I didn't do a good job. No, it is just that that design at that particular point of time is not meeting the need. You might have 10 other designs in your back pocket that you haven't shown, and as soon as you show those 10 other designs, 10 other user experiences and usability flows, that's when they would say, oh, I love that, I love this. So do not take anything personally in this one. And then always discuss with the teammates about your approaches. You don't have to hide everything and suddenly present it to the team, and that also is not a good team player. So you have to whenever you get a chance, review that with a senior. So here let's say this person in the checks, white and black checks, is a junior. He's reviewing with a senior about what the approach is going to be like, how the user scenario is going to flow, how the mobile app is going to take intake of the patient information or something like that. So all of the time, uh, take a senior's help, and then after a while you will become a senior, and people and encourage the same thing, collaborative working. is the only way to be successful in the in corporate environment, and especially in the UX team. You have to have thick skin. Don't let anybody get you down, because don't take anything personally. Take everything professionally. Just your design has been attacked. You have not been attacked. So you will have you are the creator of that design, so you can create hundreds of designs, not just one. So but at least I say to my UX designers to create 3 designs and 3 UX scenarios. And once you do that, and the users are given, sorry, the stakeholders or users are given those options, they will choose which option works best for them. If there is none of the options, if there is a combination of the option from 1, 2, and 3, they will take that, whichever works for them in the combination of 1, 2, and 3. Then more practice, more projects, and more thinking. Start writing on pen and a paper. Is the magic of pen and paper is still there. You don't have to do everything in digital world, right? So first write down the needs, write down the wants, write down the goals, the objectives, and how you want to take you almost have to become a user, right? You have to feel like a user and design it the easiest possible way, and keep thinking and keep iterating and have ideas, jot the ideas down, and have a whiteboard or anything where you can put the sticky notes and say, this is the thing. As sometimes ideas keep on flowing while you are having your dinner. Suddenly an idea keeps coming to your head, right? So at that point, if you just have a phone handy, just message your own self, this is the idea, and then put that idea back on the whiteboard. Because now the moment you start opening up the imagination box, your box is just open and the ideas keep flowing, and you just have to receive these ideas, right? And that happens to a lot of people. They are amazingly their ideas are amazing, but what they lack is their organization. But as soon as you start organizing in such a manner that orange means high priority, blue means low priority, green means have to figure out where the priority is, or pink means like uh, do not do this, or error kind of a thing. So all of that, have a mental model in your brain, and then put that mental model on your whiteboard. Even if you're working from home or anywhere, just get a whiteboard and start putting all these ideas together. Then you will see the moment the idea is from your head onto your pen, onto the sticky notes, your ideas is not going to go anywhere. As soon as you see that idea, you will be recollecting the entire idea. So you can take one at a time and start developing that idea. So keep on keep a running tally, and once some of them are done, get it off that and then move it back. So this is how you keep your imaginative juices flowing, and the more ideas you have, the better chances you will design a better user experience. um, uh, and the better designs, more number of options you give, the users are going to be very happy with your work, because the work, they can see the passion. The moment you create multiple options, at least 3 options, and you present it with a passion, and with an intention of solving the problem, they are going to be, they might not say it upfront, but they will take it, and they are having high kudos for you, for your enthusiasm, for your profession, for your passion, and everything flowing together. And even if you're 1 year experience, 2 year experience, it doesn't matter. You are able to get clients attention. You are able to help them navigate this journey, and they don't care how many years of experience. You are solving the problem. That's all it is needed. So there is a story about Apollo 13 mission or something, where there was a challenge in the spacecraft that was sent, and it has to come down, and they had only this is a real story, right? They had only limited amount of fuel, and the Earth was way far away with that fuel to come down. So all the senior scientists, this scientists, all of them were just trying their level best how to bring them back, and they were solving the equation from Earth to that space. So when they are solving the equation from the Earth to the spacecraft, everybody is falling short. Nobody is able to reach the spacecraft because they know that fuel is not going to be enough to reach the Earth. So there was this young, dynamic 27-year-old gentleman who who was brought into the picture, and the way he solved the puzzle was he started doing the calculations from the spacecraft to the Earth as if it was successful. Remember the ninth step I showed? As if you were successful, I started the nine steps game plan. So he started with that as if it was successful, and he started working the problem backwards. So how much fuel is needed, how much distance it can be started, stopped, and they went around the Earth slowly and steadily, and they made it. And that 27-year-old gentleman was a hero who brought these uh, lives back to Earth, right? So thinking out of the box, where everybody is going in one direction, he was going in the opposite direction. Where everybody was calculating from Earth to spacecraft, he was calculating from spacecraft to Earth, and as a successful journey. So that's, and you get those kind of opportunities, of course, not in terms of NASA or anything. Maybe if you are hired in NASA, you can work on NASA applications, but wherever you're hired, you have more creative power than anybody else in the team. Everybody else will be following your designs, and they will be developing or testing and the requirements gathering. But to be able to design anything, a software application, a mobile application, a web application, tablet application, anything, it is an it's a gift. It's a very few people get that opportunity to be able to create something that people will spend money and give you for your creativity, right? Most of the time, there's other things you might be doing that is creative, that you will not even get paid for that kind of an art. But this art, you will be paid as a UX designer, and you will be paid handsomely. Um, so here is wireframing, what the designers do, and here is uh, all the ways that the UI is going to look like on the mobile screen. So how many types of iterations that they do, and they keep on thinking through and imaginative approaches, and the flow of the application, and see all of this resulted the thinking on the paper, thinking on the board, thinking on the wireframes and strategies, and how you do the user flow and everything is now yielded to such an awesome product. If I see this product, I just fall in love with this product, right? It's so intuitive, so easy to touch, and uh, so colorful and easy to understand, and whatever it is, whenever you're typing and everything, and the dashboard. So imagine you created this application, how proud you are going to be that you designed this, and everything you have designed it is now in uh, functional product that's going to go out to be used by other people. So it's a privilege to be a UX designer, I feel. And then the third step that we discussed was a web portfolio, a web resume, and the resume that is available. And here are the portfolios of some UX designers. They'll try to be creative as they can, right? So it's almost like a mind map, and then giving some high level information, and then they might be able to click somewhere and learn a little bit more. And here is one other UX designer, Ethan, and simplistic, less is more. They use that kind of, and use a lot of white space, right? And he gave a little bit of idea about his other projects, right? And here is another UX designer. Again, a lot of white space, which is also black space, is also white space. When there is space between things, it's called white space. So, and then he has other things going on. And here is one of the profile from so Indo is right now attending this session right now, but I love hers most because she's my student, and even then this the creativity of Indu's profile is so high, right? I love the coffee that it has, and then she brought those colors back into her designer, and then um, a, a pad and a pencil, and then giving some description. So this is amazingly done, and the creativity can be seen in her design. So that's there. And here are some of the things. So when you go to her profile, you will be able to click on it and you will be able to see the projects that she has worked on. And it is quick and easy to understand what the projects are, details. So aggressive networking. This is a mandatory thing of networking. We cannot be like, there is no, even if in your family and friends and some people you haven't talked at this point of time in your life, it's better to keep all those differences aside and reach out to all your family members who are working, and to be able to send all of that resumes out or portfolios out, right? And your community, it could be your church community, your interest community. It could be any kind of community you are part of in the UX community or anywhere. Reach out to them and spread out your your resume. And if you're recently graduated, reach out to your professors and give your professors the resumes so that they can give it to other clients, other companies that come in front of them, and give it. Of course your friends are going to be, most of the time friends are able to, or friends or ex-colleagues are able to get you into the company. So but do not leave any route unattended. Attend every route over here. So all this can be helpful, and the more places your resume is out there, the better chances of you getting hired. And then uh, networking, the true amount of networking, only you don't know this guy, right? But you know her. You are going to talk to her and say, hey, can you introduce me to him, because he probably is working where UX designers might be needed. So reaching out like that, reaching out to the second degree and the third degree, right? The moment you start reaching out, it is going to um, things are going to flow much better. And then this idea, some people are doing, but this is going to increase your chances of getting hired. You can create a 5-minute professional looking with professional dressing and less distractions in the back, a 5-minute video resume that will sure shot get a lot of attention. So in which 1 to 1.5 minute you will tell about what you have done, what your experience is, and then in the 2 to 3 minutes you will go about some of your projects that you have done with in the past, and how you have helped with the user experience and everything. So please create a video resume. It's going to be powerful. You can just put it onto YouTube, just send that link, and that's going to get some people's attention. And then planning the solid strategy, right? So expect some failures in between, right? If you don't you just expect, you have created your resume and you think you are landing up in a job, then you are dreaming. This is what most people think. They think success directly is like a road. No, success only goes through different failure turns. So failure stops are a must, and once you go through these failure stops, that's when you will develop the resilience, you will have the tolerance, you will be able to do much more than what you thought you can do, and you will be landing up in opportunities. And you have to cater this in your journey. There will be failures. As soon as there is a failure, don't regret about it. Just see what you can learn, take it and then move forward. And career success, everything, no matter uh, what's going on, right? Your commitment towards your career is going to definitely yield success. So there is, so never let that commitment go, never let that enthusiasm go down. And if it goes down, then work on it to get back to your enthusiasm level. Some days are not the same, but some days are great. So expect uh, great things to happen. Expect amazing opportunities coming in your way. Expect amazing success coming in your way. Start expecting, just keep on expecting a lot of great things to happen. The moment you start expecting those and thinking, spending your imagination in that, good things are going to start flowing into your reality, because you have set some expectations, and the universe is working on meeting your expectations. So expect to be amazingly successful, or expect to be, or at least baby steps, right? Expect what is your next step you want to be. So expect that step is reached, right? And now you will be shown different paths to reach that next step. So this is good planning is definitely needed. And what many people say is, yeah, read about the company, and for preparation, right? Understand what their business is, understand what the industry context and everything, company culture, everything. This is what they say to prepare, and I say you can prepare that, but also I want you to say how your skills will improve their business, right? How your innovative solutions is going to help their business, how immersive experiences that you are going to bring is going to help with their scaling of their business, and how you are going to make happy and satisfied users with your user experience and strategy and design thinking and all of that, that it's going to help their company. And a couple of ideas, as I said, for them. So try to also have all of this in place. And then the second one is interview. So just few tips. Very firm handshake, right? I have had handshakes in the past where when I holded a person's hand, the hand was slipping out of my hand, because the guy was not even giving a good handshake. His handshake is just very like sliding away. So it was very this person was a really, it's almost in a political arena, and that person was in a higher level of politics, and that's the person I gave a handshake, and it was not not at all, it was low confidence. As soon as your handshake is slipping down, it's low confidence and people don't like. So if you look at this gentleman in the middle, and his handshake is firm and it's tight, even this interviewer, his handshake is still, it could be even more firm, right? He's firm, but it's not as firm as this guy has got. This is a right handshake, taking making sure that it is, they can feel your hand, and your hand should press their hand as well. Okay. And with COVID, maybe you'll not be doing the handshake, but the contact, eye level contact, just, and no place in the interview you should be looking here and there. Just look at their eyes, and alternate. You just don't have to look at the, for this gentleman, he doesn't have to just look at the gentleman's eyes. He should alternate, looking both gentleman and the ladies eyes at the same time. Like sometimes you are saying a point, you will complete a point, and then you'll come back to the other person. These are very good interviewing techniques, right? And the moment you do a handshake, there is something going in this person's brain about the confidence level. They are judging their confidence, they are judging the appearance, they are judging the professionality, they are judging the language, they are judging um, everything, right? As an interviewer, they are there to judge, they are there to give the best candidate to the company, and that's what is going to happen. And then, as I was saying, having eye contacts, right? All these three interviewers are interviewing her, and she is using good gestures across the table, and then she will be rotating the eye contact from all the three persons. So have that for sure. And and you see, not having too much of, for example, if it's a woman, not having too much of jewelry. A minimal level is fine, right? A bangle or earrings or one necklace or something, but do not have too much jewelry. Or even for men, uh, the acceptable colors for suit don't go in a light pink or green suit. And then, I mean, like, unless you want to prove a point, so go in a black, blue, brown, these kind of suits. So then landing in the opportunity. This is a success state. You guys have landed in the opportunity. Now the dream job has, you have landed in the dream job. You just have to perform the job as you dreamt. So, uh, but also never call it as a job. Always call it as a career opportunity. The job is something where people do it just for um, the living, because they have to maintain the living. For example, McDonald's or anything. I mean, I'm not saying they are lower kind of jobs, but a, a, a person who has a bachelor's degree doing working in McDonald's is just working there because he or she has to make some ends meet. But that's a job for them. But their career might be they want to become a UX designer. So uh, at that particular point, it's a job. McDonald's is a job, and here it is a career. UX designer, UI developer, or anything is a career, and this career could be strong with your strong foundation, and you have earned the success. And moving on to that. So, and the last, and now you are in the world. You have gone through all of that 8 steps, and you are now enjoying creating the applications, designing. You're doing the user research, you're doing the wireframing and prototyping, you're doing the information architecture, interaction design, visual communication, everything that you have learned through the course, the projects, the teamworks, and through all your knowledge learning. Now you are implementing. So you are at a very happy place. And here is plenty of UX designer jobs, right? Today I just searched UX designer in USA, and I think after the ads or one or two lines below, 10,000 plus UX designer jobs in the United States. And if you can think about that, all you need is one, right? So there are 10,000 plus, and this is my inbox. I keep getting UX designer jobs in my inbox because I'm solutions UI UX and other things. They think I might have somebody who has UX. So this was today, and these were, so these keep coming in my inbox, right? And of course, they need a little bit of experience, but all of your the course that I offer and the projects that you do will be equal to 3 years of experience. So once you start working with us, our team, you within 3 months you will have experience level of 3 years, because that's how much knowledge we will transfer you in the course. And then we will ask you to work on projects with us, where you will get your much more polished skill set with tools like Adobe Photoshop or Figma or InVision, in Sketch, or those kind of tools. So in a general terminology, I think software architecture has user, right? And the user has interfaces. So where a UX designer helps with is with the UX is the applications, web, mobile, tablet, or any kind of applications, and you just help with the user interface and presentation logic, only this area. So everything else is taken care by software engineers and architects and business database architects, whatever it is, right? So that's pretty easy for you. All you have to worry about is the presentation layer, and the presentation layer is nothing but all this web, mobile, and tablet and desktop applications, right? So in this configure so what does a UX designer do, right? They will do competitive analysis, user research, and if there is a product in the market that already has a similar, so what's the challenges that they are having and what our product can solve. And they work in a UI UX design team, excuse me. They track usability goals, and they will be able to create some usability reports for the senior management. um, uh, they develop mockups, wireframes, and for the development and design teams, right? So whatever you have seen with the sketches, with those uh, mobile wireframes, they keep on doing that, and they do high fidelity and low fidelity mockups to be able to work with the design and dev teams. And they conduct user testing and usability testing. And this is a skill set by itself, to be able to create the user testing questionnaire and have users on the call and then do the usability testing there. Then the information architecture, they do the interaction design, UX design, content strategy. There's a um, lot of fun things they do. The fun keeps on happening. So professional UX designers have a lot of fun. Yeah, as I said, fun designing, envisioning, innovating, and iterating through the challenges and solving the problems, right? And also solving. So why? So innovation is so valuable, right? Because it does some of the research, some analysis, some of the um, improvements, what can be done, and it also solves the problem, right? The challenges have to be solved, and innovation can help with solving those challenges. And the design is used to, and the creativity and design is help, and then the imagination. So as you can see, these are the core faculties that you will be able to do, and it is not difficult at all. It is just opening opening the uh, opening our mind and our brains for ideas and imagination, and allowing the creativity to flow through, and you will be so happy doing this, that you will you will fall in love in creating more and more creations, because they are the creations of you were making, and you are solving a problem in your own creative way. So it's like your babies. So we never fall, we always love our babies, right? And all the children that we have, same thing, all of your creations. But at the same time, don't get disappointed when they say, I don't like this design or something. Yes, it's part of your children, but it's the it's an iteration in making that children, right? It could, don't take every version of it as a children, the end product as a children, right? So you don't get disappointed when somebody attacks your designs. So that's very, you might have now have iterated it twice or thrice, so because you have to have thick skin. Yeah, who can become, yeah, we talked about this freshness and fresh graduates, career opportunity seeker, job changing, anybody, and graphics designer to UX designer, class by class. Okay, let me pause here for any questions at this point, or I'll also let Indu, I think Indu mention about her portfolio and about her experience, Indu and Yesi. So Indu, you can unmute and say what your experience have been with this uh, classes that you have taken, and how it has been helping you.
Thank you, Harish. Um, I've been a graphic designer for many years, and and getting exposed to UI UX and taking the course given by Harish is like a big eye opener for me. It's like it opened up a lot of opportunities, and I realized that this is much more than just designing. So it's basically putting yourself in user shoes, and then it's like a holistic experience that the user is having with the product, not just the designing part, but right from the beginning. So how the user feels and the experience that he has with the product. So it has a lot of scope for your design and then imagination, and it's totally a different experience. And just designing is only one part, but then going through the journey is like it's a total different, complete journey. So I thoroughly enjoyed the class, and then I'm enjoying the projects that I'm doing with Harish. So I'm glad I made this decision of jumping my ship. Thank you,
Thank
Harish.
thank you so much, Indo. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Yesi is also one designer. And Yesi, you want to share your experience going through the session?
Sure, yes. Thank you, Harish. Yeah, so I've really like learned a lot from this class. It's really taught me more than UI UX. It's more than just what you see. You think about how the user feels. You put yourself in the user's shoes. You see how all the little pieces of the puzzle fit together. It's basically kind of like you're building this puzzle, and you think about the little pieces and the little details. I'm not a classically trained graphic designer. I'm in another field and I'm trying to switch over to the professional field. And just by taking this course and seeing how everything fits together and, using that muscle memory and practicing, it's been very helpful, very, very helpful. And I would really recommend it. It's been life changing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Yesi, and thank you so much, Indu. And as Yesi and Indu said, right, so I tried to make it more simple in terms of what 8, 9 modules that are available. So introduction, understanding, first learning, knowing. So once you get into these modules, you will be able to get much more details. So here is one of the modules. I think all the modules. I think the color is light here, so sorry. So the whole course is available on solutionsUIUX.com, where you can see uh, see the chapters and the modules that it has, 8 modules. So as Indu has also just given a verbal testimonial, here's a written testimonial, and here's Alicia who has done her testimonial, and Rachel who has gone through and she understood a lot more. She had no idea about UX, but she now learns that. And Gabriel, he was, and he's now working in as a designer as well, like Indo and Yasi in a design field. But he didn't have the knowledge. But he has gone through that, and Yasi, you just heard her right now, and now she's UX and web designer, right? So both. And here is another person, Kala. She is from the QA background, but she wanted and to learn, and she did a amazing job because it's not just about taking the course; it's also about doing the class and work and material so that you can learn much more. So decide for yourself the next action item, how you would like to move forward and take. And then and if you are not able to commit to 160 to 200, actually this is 200 hours, then do not sign up for this course because it needs your attention. It's a life changing, as Yasi just said, because this is going to earn you different level of salary, and the salaries can start from around $45,000 as an entry level to, in Apple and Microsoft, the salaries are 189, 190K for a senior UX designer. So you would be earning to a level of almost 200K, right? With all the perks and everything. So that is the earning potential into 6 figures into 200K is equal to almost like an entry level doctor level. So imagine one course getting you there. And if you are committed and you're uh, working hard and smart both, right, you will be able to get there, because your designs that you publish and your UX and everything, uh, and you will be starting to talk in other conferences and meetups or anything. So try to get all of that under your belt, and six figures is definitely very, very easy for you to achieve in few years. It's not, and I think that's it. What all you have to do is learn it, leverage it, and level up your skill set. Listen, so get the course, listen to it, and then I'll be able to give you a 2 hours of one-on-one free coaching. My 1 hour is $250. So 2 hours is going to be $500 for my 1 hour, because I have other potential clients that we are creating more projects, and we are creating applications and everything. So my 1 hour is 250 when I give to a company. So I'll be giving 2 hours of that for free for one-on-one, for free coaching, and then these are the modules that are available. So use that carefully, and then you could make a great career out of it. So solutions uiux.floralms.com. That's where the course is at. Yep. Any questions? If there's
Nice.
if there's no questions, but thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Uh, I was I'm going to figure out, like, uh, if we want to talk about the UI developer thing now, or shall we give it to Flo on another, on some other day? Anybody?
Sure. We would love to hear from her also.
For her,
So when
right? We'll
when
we'll
yeah,
we'll do a
yeah, yeah.
separate session. Yeah, we'll do.
Sure, sure.
So we will do a separate session. But thank you so much for attending. I appreciate it. Have a great evening, guys, and I hope we are in
Thank
time. We are in time. Perfect. Thank you.
you. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so
Take.
much, Harish.
Thanks. Bye. Bye, everybody.